How? Is it nearly April already? Like seriously, where the hell has that gone? It's nearly April. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind. Better get started on some seeds, people. So today it is finally a tomato time. I'm going to be going through this year's varieties with you, what I've chosen to grow here in my garden and also at the school garden. But first, if you're coming back to my channel, hello and welcome back. It's lovely to see you again. And for those of you who are new, hi, it's lovely to meet you. I also go by my handle pumpkins, etc. here on YouTube and over on Instagram. I talk about all things planty, and I also talk a lot about the powers of gardening for mental health. So grab yourself a cup of tea and let's get sowing. Tomatoes. Okay, I think they are one of the staple crops. When people first start growing their own produce, one of the things they grow, I think it's usually lettuces, tomatoes and potatoes. I think we can all agree those are like those first tentative steps into growing your own produce. And you could be forgiven for just thinking, you know, plain old red round tomato, yeah, whatever. Stop. There are so many different varieties and nothing compares to growing your own. Honestly, they are so sweet when you pick a lovely cherry tomato, sweet and warm from the sun, when you're just pottering around. Oh, absolutely delicious. So I would highly recommend it. You don't need a lot of space at all. I grow a lot of mine in 30cm pots. As long as you've got space to put a pot in a nice sunny spot, you can grow tomatoes. So here are the ones that I'm going to be growing this year. I'm going to start off with the cherry varieties because they're my favourite. I love a cherry tomato. And I'm gonna, this one here, so this is from Baker Creek Seeds. They are in America, but you can get them sent over. The Sweetheart Cherry. Now I've grown this for a number of years, but I moved house about 18 months ago now, and I lost my seeds in the process. I had been saving my own seeds and I lost them, so I've reordered. And this plant, this grows big, like I'm talking seriously big. I've grown it up, not a trellis, although that's not a bad idea. I've grown it on an obelisk, that's the word. I've grown these on obelisks in the past and they look really beautiful. They give you, I do a sort of potager style, and they look really beautiful, just dangling and like glinting in the sun, these little jewels. They're absolutely stunning. I'll just read you what it says on the packet. I don't have my glasses, but it says they ripen within 60 days. Brilliant. This cherry tomato is packed with sweetness and a rich berry-like flavour. It's quite crisp and the fruit can keep on the extra long vines. These little strawberry-shaped jewels are wildly productive little snacking tomatoes and they resist cracking. Now I can vouch for these. Like I said, I've grown them for a few years on the trot and they are fabulous. So I think I'll be growing them every year from now on. Another cherry tomato, and I'm just going to nip in here and say I am a marketer's dream. You give something a funky name or some funky packaging and I'm a sucker for it, okay? And this, I've got two varieties on here which show just how much I get sucked into this stuff, right? So I am growing from Red Dragon Seeds in Wales, although you can get them from other suppliers, Barry's Crazy Cherry. Now, these are apparently lovely and tart little cherry tomatoes. The plants can grow to about 5 foot tall. So again, reasonable size, you'll want to stake them. And they're yellow cherry tomatoes. So I think it's really nice. I love having a nice slice of toast with a mixture of the red and the yellow, a little bit of olive oil and some basil. Oh, in the summer, sat on the patio, yum, 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 yum. So yes, we're growing these, and come on, Barry's Crazy Cherry. How can you not want to grow those? And the final one that we're growing, a lot, like I say, a lot of cherry tomatoes, but also they'll be good for the kids in the school garden where I volunteer. Consuelo, these are from Grown Local. Again, you can get them from other suppliers. Woo! My camera is having a funny moment. It doesn't want to focus. There we go. It's trying to focus on my face. No, tomato consuelo. These are, again, they're on the bigger side for a cherry tomato. Not grown these ones before, but they have really, really good reviews, so I'm looking forward to those ones as well. I don't have the packet with me here because they're in my shed, but I'm also going to be growing for the plum variety. I'm going for San Marzano. This is one I grow every single year. It's, like I say, it's a plum tomato, so they're the elongated tomatoes, and they make, hands down, as far as I'm concerned, the best tomato pasta sauce. They're really productive. You can get loads, and stock your freezer full with them, so you can be eating fresh tomato sauce in the depths of winter. I'm growing this one, I want to say purely for the name, because I am a nerd, but also they look flipping gorgeous, I've got to say. I have seen these on Instagram. Quite a few people said that last year the taste wasn't that good, and I think it's because we had quite a wet summer, and so they didn't quite have the heat, that lovely sunlight and the warmth to truly develop the flavour. So I'm hopefully that's what it's down to. Another one from Baker Creek, I'm growing Rebel Starfighter Prime. Told you, right? I'm a total geek. I'm just a nerd, planty nerd, but also a sci-fi geek. So Rebel Starfighter Prime, purplish tomatoes. Oh, I mean, amazing. So what it says on here, so these take 80 days to ripen. Long, heart-shaped fruits form beautiful radial streaks of purple, maroon and green below dark purple shoulders. The deep reddish-brown flesh is both juicy and meaty and offers the perfect balance of sweetness and acidity. Sold, done, sold. And then the last one that I'm growing, I mean, I say the last one, I'm sure between now and the middle of April I'll probably choose another 2 or 3 because I just can't help myself. But I started these ones off last year and excuse me, and I didn't have any success with them, unfortunately. The ones that I did grow through to being a decent seedling size, so I got them to about this sort of size, and then they just all got eaten. It was a really, really tough year for slugs last year, and they went for my tomatoes as well as my pumpkins and my cucumbers and my flowers and my lettuces, and the list continues. They just ate everything last year. A giant tomato. I mean, that's probably a child holding it, to be fair. Gigantamo from Thompson & Morgan. It says here that, where is it? Oh, it doesn't say. I thought it said how big the tomatoes grow. Oh yes, it does. Obviously it's a beefsteak type because it's a large one. That's the big chunky meaty ones. Produces tomatoes weighing between 500 grams and 1.5 kilograms each. I mean, I don't know what to do with a 1.5 kilogram tomato, but I'd quite like to see one. There is somebody at my front door. I'm going to go and answer it. Yes, so it is several days later. My friend and neighbour was at the door. But subsequently we have all in the house, we've all had a horrible bug. It's run through all 4 of us, and not much has been done in the last almost week, other than copious amounts of laundry from the sickness, but we are on the mend, and there are tomatoes to sow. So yes, we are talking tomatoes. So I've run through all of my varieties with you the other day, and all I'm going to do, I will move you down so you can see, but I'm going to be sowing them in these little pots, and then they'll go in my heated propagator. Because just like as with the peppers, tomatoes are a long season crop. So what I mean by that is that it takes quite a while to get the nice ripe fruit, and given that we've had, well, last year was quite a poor year really. There was a lot of blight going around, and also the weather was just pants, and so we we really struggled as a community, I think, to get decent tomato crops. So I'm getting mine in now. Some people that sowed theirs ages ago and have already got like little plants like this, so I actually feel quite behind, but March is a perfectly good time to be sowing your tomatoes. So let's get them on, shall we? I tend to use a young plant compost with a Johnny's #1. It's just something that I've done for a long time. I did in the past use seed compost, and I personally haven't found any difference. So I don't want to go and spend my money on buying it when I don't need to. But what I will do, because I didn't have very much #1 left, I've got some general peat-free multi-purpose, and I just want to mix in a little bit of perlite to keep it nice and light. So I'm going to do that now. So here we go. This is what we are experiencing, and then I'm going to add a little bit of perlite, which it's probably going to have a little bit of a white cloud effect coming on now, so I should really put a mask on because I'm asthmatic, but let's just go with it. Okay. Then mix that. Might need a little bit more in there. And all this is doing is, apart from choking me, this is going to add a little bit of aeration in. Add aeration into the soil. It frees up some space for the roots. So I'll just show you something for a second. Hang on. So this is an alocasia corm. I had alocasia dragon scale, which is a foliage houseplant, and it went a bit mushy and a bit floppy, and so what I tend to do when I rehab my alocasia, no, don't look at me, is I chop them off and then I propagate them in perlite. As you can see, we've got some roots. Get those lovely roots coming through, and the perlite is basically providing the space for the roots. So obviously there's water in here as well, but it's providing the space for the roots to run free, to get lots of aeration in them. And so that's what I'm adding to the multi-purpose, just because it is a bit heavier. Actually, I think that's okay. There's literally no nutritional value to perlite whatsoever. Okay, so I've got my tomatoes are just bottom soaking, and I've done it that way so as not to displace the seeds. So they're just going to sit there for 10-15 minutes, soak up the water, and then they will go in my heated propagator. And I'll keep you posted on how they do. First Tomato Tuesday of the year. First Tomato Tuesday of 2025. I've also done some achocha. I don't actually know how to pronounce it, but they seem really interesting. And I got the seeds last year and actually never got around to growing them. So we're going to try and do them this year. They're climbing plants. Apparently once they get going, they really get going. So more to come on those as well. But yes, for now, that's everything for now. So thank you so much for watching. I've already got a couple more things that I want to show you. So I don't know whether to tag them on to the end of this video or not. Shall we tag them on? No, we'll do another one. Right, thank you so much for watching. If you could hit that little button down there, the subscribe, and hit like, it helps me to know that you like my content, so I'll keep making more of it. If you have any other ideas for things you would like me to cover, or a particular style of video that you would prefer to see, then do give me a shout and I will try and do that for you as well. All right, thanks so much. Bye for now.